Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am filming a first impressions video on a new palette from Shop Alter Ego. Now I have received this palette in PR and I have received palettes from them in the past, and I have filmed a few videos with those palettes that I have received, so I do have a Shop Alter Ego playlist on my channel that you guys can check out. But just so you guys know, for the sake of this video and trying to keep in with all the new guidelines, this palette was sent to me, it was gifted to me, but this video is not sponsored. I do have a code with Shop Alter Ego, but it is not an affiliate code. I don't make any money from you guys using it. It's just Karen10 and it gives you 10% off the palettes or like their website. So don't feel any pressure to use my code. There's plenty of other codes out there, but I just want to put it out there for anyone that is watching this video that might want to pick this palette up. So I was very excited to have this sent to me. Shop Alter Ego is a brand that typically does dupe palettes, and for the longest time I did have kind of conflicting ideas about dupe palettes and whether I thought they were good or bad or whatever, and I honestly kind of decided that I was going to take my opinion out of it. I decided that for my audience, this kind of product made sense because not everyone wants to go out and spend their hard-earned money on a high-end makeup palette. And I can totally understand that. I can relate with that feeling. So I think these are, you know, informative videos. Even though I'm not quite sure how I feel about it, I don't think it's a bad option for you guys. So that's why I want to do these kinds of videos and keep you guys kind of educated on what's out there for you if you don't want to buy a high-end palette. The other thing too is, after watching Broken, is that what it's called? That documentary that Marlena was in on Netflix, like truly terrifying. Counterfeit makeup sounds really scary. So, you know, I get it. Like, people want to buy the hot new product out there. I never ever thought that people would be considering a counterfeit option if they couldn't find the real thing, or if the real thing was sold out, that they would go for a counterfeit, or that people are getting tricked into buying counterfeit products. Like, all of that is very terrifying. So I'd rather you have a dupe palette and not have you like glue your lips together or have your eyes fall out. Now, I'm not a chemist, I'm not like a makeup producer, so I don't know, but I felt safe enough to put these on my eyes. So those are all my disclaimers. So it does say back here, Shop Alter Ego is their Instagram handle, distributed by Alter Ego. This is a company from Los Angeles, and this product has a net weight of 15 grams or 0.53 ounces. Cruelty-free product, and it is made in the People's Republic of China. It has a 12-month shelf life, and it does a cruelty-free logo on there. It doesn't look like the Pita Bunny, but I don't really know, to be honest. So here is the outer packaging. I love this. Honestly, this packaging reminds me of the Chinese New Year, because I know like red is a lucky color, I believe, in Chinese culture. So it just looks really stunning also for like the holidays, and it's exactly like their other packaging. So this is the Sahara. This was the one that came out, I think, in October, September, October. How gorgeous. And then it also matches the Goddess palette. So I kind of love how they are sticking to that theme. I mean, it just makes it very pleasant to look at. So I did film this look, but first I want to give you guys swatches. So let's go ahead and do that. I don't really want to compare this palette to the palette that it's supposed to be duping, because based on my experiences with this brand in the past, I feel like this palette can hold its own. So I just don't really feel the need to compare it to the other one. And if you guys wanted the one that it's a dupe of, you would already own it, and this video is most likely going to be irrelevant for you because you're already happy with the one you have. Now, there's no reason to buy both. I definitely would not encourage you to do that. I think if you don't want to spend the money on the original, then you might want to look at this. But other than that, if you have the first one and you're happy with it, do not spend your money on buying duplicates of things. That's a little bit ridiculous. I already have the original, so obviously different story. So the first shade is Radiance, then we have Stellar, Spark, Sunburst, and Dawn. I must say that the mattes are pretty weak in this palette. I haven't used all the mattes, but just from the eye look I created, I felt like I was having a hard time. And actually, even the shimmers aren't as good. Like the Goddess palette, I swear the shimmers are like up to par with the palette it's duping. But these ones, I used this shade Dawn on my lid and it was a struggle, and then I just covered it up honestly with some glitter from ColourPop because I still wanted to like kind of create the look I had envisioned. So I was really disappointed by that. But just check out the swatches here of the Next Ripe Shine. I have Luminaire, Ray, Nova, and Cosmic. And you know, the shade Sunburst I was hoping would really pack a punch, but in the end it really didn't. So I just want to give you guys my opinions. You know, you guys can decide what you want to do with your money. But since I had the opportunity to try the palette, I really wanted to be honest with you guys. So here is the last row. Also, do keep in mind this is like my first time using it. So it is possible that, you know, I need to do more work and try it out, but that's why I'm calling this a first impression and not a review. So I mean, like, look at that matte swatch. I feel like that's so weak. It's not what I'm expecting from Alter Ego. I usually expect better from them. So we have Star, we have Brilliance, Flare, Soul, and Twilight is that last shade. So here are all the colors. I'm just curious to see if I swatch a matte from, like, look at how pigmented that is, from the Goddess palette, if it'll swatch better. Maybe I'm just, I mean, I don't know. I felt like these mattes were better, but now I'm questioning everything. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so those are the swatches, and let's get into how I created this look. Oh my goodness, I am so excited to play with this palette. It is Friday night, and believe me when I tell you, all I want to do is continue to watch Game of Thrones, enjoy spending time with my dogs, but I had a vision. I just want to do like a berry, it's basically a sunset look. I keep picturing like the yellow in my inner corner, and then this like shade called Nova just like blended into my crease. So I have ideas. I don't know if it's going to turn out like I planned, but I have a plan. So instead of sitting on the couch watching Game of Thrones like I should be doing on a Friday, I decided I should film because it is Vlogmas here on my channel, and I've been filming like a beast. I'm very proud of myself. So I just got this palette in the mail. It is now available at Shop Alter Ego. And they basically make dupes of palettes, but honestly, this is my 4th palette from them, and I don't even really care to compare them to the dupes or the palettes that they are dupes of. I literally own all the palettes, the originals, and I just feel like that's not really necessary. If you're not going to buy the original palette, then you might buy this one because you probably skipped the first one because of the price point. And I was talking to my husband about these palettes because I got the email that I was getting this when I was having dinner with him, and I'm like, oh cool, they're sending me their new palette. And Rail's like, oh okay, what kind of palette? And I was like trying to explain it to him, and he's like, so you have, I was like, yeah, I have the more expensive brand. And I'm like, but I also realize that it's not realistic to expect every human being on planet Earth to pay the price of some of these palettes. So I'm just going to feature this Aurora palette on its own on my channel because I think it can stack up against any other palette without being compared to it, even though it's a dupe. I mean, if you guys really want to see like some kind of comparison, I'm happy to do that. But honestly, I've had really good luck with these palettes, so I'm perfectly fine just showcasing them on their own. Anyway, so I'm just really wanting to blend this yellow shade into the inner corner and into the crease. I always struggle with yellows. I know that if you're lighter than me, it's a little bit easier to get a yellow to show up, and I could probably do some kind of like voodoo magic with a white base, but that's not really how I do my makeup on a daily basis. So yeah, I'm just gonna do it the way I would do it any other day, and I'm just trying to pack it on as much as possible. and typically it shows up on camera even though I don't feel like it's bright enough. That's like a me problem, and maybe I'll throw in some glitter, you know, amp it up a little bit. So I'm gonna leave the yellow like that. There's a beautiful peachy shade called Star, and I want to tuck that in to the other half of my crease just to help blend the yellow shade a little bit better. And in case any of you guys are wondering, this is the Wayne Goss number 17, and it's a beautiful crease brush. Okay, now I'm going to go into this shade called Flare. It's just like a beautiful orange color. I'm going to pack that on where I laid down that first color called Star. Just slowly blending into the crease. And I just really wanted like a perfectly seamlessly blended look. I swear I just, oh, I could sit here all day and just blend shadow into my crease. I am a sucker for a good blend. Okay, I want to throw in a lid shade. So I think I'm going to go into the shade Brilliance, which is like a beautiful muted gold shade. I don't really do a lot of brow bone shades, really. But I just got my brows done the other weekend, and they're still like pretty well groomed. So I thought, why not pop a nice gold just to kind of, you know, catch the light a little bit. And I'm just using a really thick shader brush from Wet n Wild. So there's that. Now I'm going to go back into Flare and blend that. I'm keeping it out of the inner corner because I want that yellow shade to pop still, but I want to bring it up really high up into the brow bone to give it like an extra blended look. Okay. And I'm going to stay with the same brush, and I'm loving the shade Nova. So I'm just going to dip that, and then I'm just going to start packing that on to the outer corner as well. Just wanting to give it some depth, and it's like a beautiful berry red shade. I really like how that's turning out. And then I'm just going to go into the shade Twilight, which is like the darkest shade, and just kind of pack that on in the outer corner. Okay, I kind of love that so much. I love that blend. I feel like the color looks really good on the camera. I'm just looking at myself in the mirror and okay, well, it looks how I want it to look on the screen, but when I look in my mirror, my Simple Human mirror, I'm like, is it looking splotchy? But it might just be me. It could just be me, because I really like how it looks in the camera. So now we need to figure out a lid color. And I've really been debating the shade Dawn, just because it's like a beautiful purple, but also I love a good like metallic red. There's another metallic. Look at these colors. Super pretty. Little baby swatches. I really envisioned it with the purple, so that's what I'm going to try and do. I just want to see how pigmented it is without wetting the brush. It's definitely like a pretty duochromy purple. I think I need to wet the brush. Sonia G brush. This is my favorite Builder Pro. I'm so sad that I missed her, what is it called? Sky Set or something? There's like a beautiful blue handle brush set that she just came out with for the holidays. It like launched while I was at work and I missed the launch. I think this look really ultimately needs glitter because that color is very light. I think actually, you know what, I lied. I'm gonna go in to the red shimmer shade and see if that kind of helps amp things up a little bit, because I wanted it to pop more, and the duochrome is kind of like just making it not pop as much, if you know what I mean. Okay, I definitely feel like I'm in need of glitter, so I will be right back. So even though we all bitch and moan about glitter being in our eyeshadow palette, I could not say no to this little set from ColourPop for their holiday. This orange is speaking to me. I think that's the shade. Oh, there's one here in the bottom too though. I just thought these would be fun for like something fun, you know, if I was doing an eye look, and they're so tiny that I figured these would be perfect for me to play with. So I'm looking at the shade Avenue of Stars, which I just dropped. Dropped and picked up, and kind of want to just see. Ooh, that's pretty. I use my finger. Kind of want to use brush. Oh, I know, I'll use this one. These are so fun. Oh, snip. Now, don't use glitter unless you know what you're doing. If you're a child, you shouldn't be watching my videos. And just like, don't hurt yourself. So I really wanted to use the sparkle on the inner corner just to kind of like, I don't know, give it like a cool effect. Okay, I need to stop before I hurt myself. You know what they say, check yourself before you wreck yourself. And I was just using this little Real Techniques brush. I think this is actually a lip brush, but it's kind of perfect for glitter because it's synthetic, so it doesn't goop up the bristles. I kind of love it. I'm gonna clean up the under eye and do my face makeup, and I will be right back. Okay guys, so here is the final look. I didn't feel like doing my hair today, so instead I added a glossy lip to zhuzh things up a little bit. And my lip combo today are two pretty affordable lip products. I'm wearing the ColourPop Ultra Matte Lip in Floor. I believe this is from the Becky G collab, and then this is the Lucid Lip in Fantasize from Kaleidos. Pair so well together. This shade, this gloss shade, just goes so well with some of the shades from the eyeshadow palette. So I hope you appreciate how this look turned out. I do want to point out, while I have you guys zoomed in pretty close, that I don't love how the mattes performed in this palette. Now, I have used their Goddess palette, which I thought worked really well, but the mattes in this palette, I don't know if it's because there's more reds and oranges, and typically I believe reds are a little bit harder to make. Plus this product is cruelty free, which means they don't use like the crushed beetles, I believe, that they use to make reds in palettes that aren't cruelty free. So I don't really know if that's what it was, but if you guys were to look in really close to my eyeshadow, like I'm gonna have a new camera soon and it's like 4K. I'm a little bit terrified because you guys are gonna be really able to see how makeup performs, and you're gonna have the product, like the image quality on that camera is gonna look like I'm sitting right in front of you. So I haven't learned how to use that camera yet, but I'm telling you, if you looked at my eyeshadow and you had a really keen sense of how mattes blend, you would know that this matte did not blend the way I wanted it to. It's patchy. It's very much like a pigment, and there's formulas like that out there in the world that some people love, like the Ace Beauté Paradise collection. All the eyeshadows kind of did this on my eyes, which is why I decluttered that collection, just because it's not me. It's not my favorite formula. I didn't notice the Goddess palette doing that, so I don't know what it could be. And then they sent me the Sahara palette, and I haven't had a problem like that with this palette either. So I definitely need to use the Aura palette more before I can definitely tell you like, oh, it's just like a one-off thing. Like it could be the eyeshadow base, although I use my, you know, new favorite eyeshadow base, P. Louise. I've been using that all through the month of November and I haven't had any problems with it. But yeah, up close, I just feel like I didn't get the best blend. So just want to give you guys my honest opinion on the matte shadows. Okay, so usually I would insert like a close-up swatch situation, but I accidentally rubbed everything off and now I'm like lazy to film it, so I do apologize. But I'm sure you guys can find swatches of this palette because I've seen so many YouTubers do swatch parties and like comparison swatches and things like that. So I think swatches should be pretty easy for you guys to find. Overall, guys, just keep in mind this is my first impression, so I don't know that this is like my final say on this palette, but like I mentioned when I had you guys zoomed in, I don't really like how this palette blended on my eyes at all. I mean, in the viewfinder, when I was filming this look, the eyeshadows look really vibrant and bright, but that could also be because I am sitting in front of some like studio lights, so it really like amplifies the look. But when I look at myself like in the mirror here, I just feel like it's so bad. Like the yellow is like gotten eaten up by the glitter. Ugh, like no, I just don't like it. I don't like it, but I'm not gonna like redo the look, you know. So I did do the best I could. If you're a beginner, I'd be pretty unsure about recommending this to you because like I said, I like my shadows to be able to blend. I'm not a fan of like the pressed pigment, push things into your eyeball formula, and I did use a very sticky base, so I would have assumed that the shadows would have still worked really well because I've tested this base with many different formulas and I still haven't come across one where it didn't do a good job. So I'm really conflicted right now, but that is my first impression. I'm just gonna keep it as it's very okay. If I had to give it a rating from like 1 to 10, I would probably give it like a 4. So yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna try it maybe. I'm not sure. I have a lot of palettes to play with, so I don't know if I will have time to do another video, but if I have any updates, I will throw it in my December haul video when we go over everything I got in the month of December. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you were interested in this palette, if you picked this up. Let me know if you have the original palette, if you like that palette. I know it's like widely popular because it was such a great price point for the brand that did the original. So anywho's, I will leave a link down in my description box if you guys do want to shop this palette. And like I said, I do have a discount code with the brand, so you can save 10% off of your purchases on their website. And if you guys are looking for good gift ideas, I would recommend this one. This one's a great palette as well for neutral lovers. And if you want to try this palette for shits and giggles, why not? You know what I mean? Anyways, that's everything. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you're enjoying Vlogmas. Don't forget to enter the giveaway I have going on for Vlogmas, and I will catch you guys in my next